Hello, Gins. It's me, Nanigans. I signed up for this one tournament, in the Incineroar Discord, where they're doing. It's a monotype tournament, but you have to use the Pokemon that is in the Miku chart or whatever. It's just standard OU. Anything Ubers is banned. It's singles. So Miraidon is banned, which means the Dragon type Monotype is banned. But other than that, everything's basically free game. You just have to run the one Pokemon. So if I wanted to run Grass type, I'd have to run Rillaboom on every team. But other than that, I can run basically anything in that decks. So that's the background. I have Shiny with me. Say hi.
Hello.
Delta was also here a little bit ago, but I think he went to go get food. He might pop in halfway through the call. I'm not quite sure. So we have our tiers. We have Band, which is for the Dragon type. Great Mon means the Pokemon itself is pretty good. Plus the type will be. You have full access to everything in that type. That's not an Uber. So good Mon plus good type. Great, good, and then weak Mon carried by the type, which is just like you'll see when we get there. And then that's Rough Buddy is for Pokemon that are the type is bad and the Pokemon you got is bad.
The name of the tier says for it.
Yeah, exactly. So right off the bat, I want to just get it out of the way because I don't think it's good at all. Is the Cricketune, which I don't know. I think it's this one. This one's Cricketune. Cricketune is an awful Pokemon. It has sticky webs, but so does every other bug type. Just really, really unfortunate. Bug type is already really bad, and it didn't really get good buffs this gen. If you get, I don't know, I'd rather not play in the league than get stuck with the bug type, personally. I think Aurorus being the rock type rep is pretty bad. It's basically going to be a sack. You don't really want I guess you can find a way to make it work, but you don't want to be running Hail on a rock type team because you want to be running Sand on a rock type team, which just means it's like
the thing is, you have access to Refrigerate, which would help with ground types. That's the thing. That's
true, I guess. Yeah, alright. That's pretty smart. I was gonna ask, I'm so happy you're here, because I didn't know what Aurorus' second ability even was.
I'm gonna mention, okay, with bug types, you do gain access to good revenge kills, and also Volcarona exists.
That's true. I was thinking low kicks would be really good.
Low kicks is also one of the revenge killers.
Yeah.
So, like, you have good Pokemon, it's just the issue is you have to bring Cricketune.
Yeah. That's rough, buddy. Chatot for the normal type, I also think is pretty rough. Normal's a really good type. I think normal. I don't know what would be worse out of these three, but I think normal is really bad because Chatot is a really bad Pokemon. I don't have a lot of positive things to say of it.
Like, the thing, like, I could see it being more on the side of a Weakmon carried by the type more so, just because, like, there's actually a pretty decent amount of good normal types to choose from.
Yeah, my first thought is, like, I immediately always think about Snorlax.
Yeah,
Miltank is really good
as well.
Say what?
You have Ursaluna, Blissey.
Ooh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Have options.
Yeah, that's fair. Another team, I think Fairies also goes right into carried by weak type, or Weakmon carried by a good type.
Listen. Eviolite Jigglypuff, listen.
I'm listening. Go off. Pop off.
You literally have, like, a... Brother, you're not a part of this. Okay, you have... Oh my god. Oh my god, brother. Please.
Toxic or Fletchley.
Brother, okay. Sorry about that, guys.
You're good.
My brother was cutting me off.
I thought Delta joined in for a second.
No, I'm literally going to Showdown right now just for this stuff.
I can look it up. Tell me.
No, I also have it up as well, so I can look. You have stuff like Heal Bell, Encore, Perish Song, the 4 switches, Rocks, T-Wave, Toxic, Teleport.
Jigglypuff gets
Wish,
rocks.
even?
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's mostly because also Scream. That's the reason why Screamtail also gets Rocks.
That's hilarious.
Dual screens, disable.
I don't know.
You
Eviolite
have
doesn't really
options.
help base 20 and base 25 that much, though. I guess she does
Like,
have
it
fat
doesn't
HP,
help,
though.
but it's like, yeah, like it's literally the Wigglytuff problem.
Yeah. Jigglypuff
So
would be
even
good
though
if
it
they
can make
were.
up for
If they
it
didn't
a
have the.
little bit. Like I can see it being more of like a one-time switch, getting something done to help the team out, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just Jigglypuff might be the biggest sack, other than like Cricketune. But I don't think there's a lot to really say about these 4 types, other than these Pokemon aren't that great. I think Aurorus could go into Weakmon carried by type, but I also know that like Rock type is usually always pretty bad in a Monotype, right?
Usually, mostly because it's weak to a lot of the strong types.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm willing to keep Aurorus down there. And then I think the next type that is Weakmon carried, I think Flying type Altaria is not that great.
Like without the Mega, which granted it changes type, so it would be just flat out illegal.
Yeah, which is usually the standard, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Gen
Megas
7,
are legal in this
you
format.
could not have Mega Altaria.
But yeah, I think it's unfortunate.
It's only on Mono Dragon.
Flying type is usually like, I know it's considered like a top 5 monotype.
Not top 5, mostly just because it's weak to Ice and Electric, which is a problem.
Gotcha.
But like, it is still like a strong contender.
Yeah.
Mostly just because its options are really insane.
Yeah, it has like literally every type.
It's mostly used for its versatility with offense as well.
Yeah, like that's what I think of is just the sheer amount of offense Flying type has, but it's all like the dual types that it gets the offense from. Like Brave Bird is good, sure. Talonflame like will pop off, but it also can be
stuff
really
like
great
Landorus as
Pokemon.
well.
Yeah, Landorus kind of pops off.
Like Landorus, Aerodactyl for a strong choice bander, potentially. Like, there's a lot of options.
Yeah, Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl can pop off. Honestly, that's a great Pokemon, which could also help Rock type as well.
You also have like Corviknight, Dragonite, Enamorous, Gliscor. It is actually stupid. Wait.
Yeah, like Altaria. Honestly,
Moltres,
I legit think Altaria is going to be the worst Pokemon on the team if you picked Flying.
By far none.
Yeah, because Flying just has so many good options. What else do we got? All right, so Psychic, Grass, Fire, Water, Electric. I think this is Ice. The Ice rep is Lapras, which I think is pretty good. This is Flygon, which is Ground type.
Poison, Ghost, Dark, Steel, then Fighting are left. Which, I'm gonna be honest. I might want to burn the band-aid with fighting type and just say it's weak mon carried by type.
Yeah, I actually think it's worse than flying.
Mostly just because it has a worser theorem than flying, but for fighting types, oh god.
I just like fighting is good, you know, but losing to
Zamazenta. Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'll just list these off real quick. Tusk, Valiant, Sneasler, Zamazenta, Rayloom, Halucha, Infernape, Komodo. You have options.
Yeah.
Not even mention you even have a Spore Setter in Rayloom.
That's true. You do have a lot of utility and like big power.
I would mention some of the mods here are literally game enders.
It's
For
basically
example,
like
Iron
all
Valiant,
big names. I feel like
and
it's kind of a
They're
full
all
offense
game
type
enders.
though.
Which, granted, it's not a bad approach. A lot of the fighting types, a lot of mods don't have good switch-ins for these.
Yeah, especially since so many of them get guts. Like not guts. The one ability
Usually
where you can
secondary
hit Scrappy.
stab can do good.
Scrappy would hit
like,
hard.
For example, for Sneasler, say you want a fairy type to switch in, you have Dire Claw.
Yeah, that's true.
You also have Iron Hand with like the AV set to just be like a good like 1 to 2 times switch in. Then like try and get something done. Also, not even mention it's a pivoter because Volt Switch. Valiant is just I hate it.
Valiant is a lot. Giving fighting type access to fairy type is insane.
Because like it literally hard counters the dark type, like it literally hardcore counters. So I honestly do think, yeah, fighting goes in that category, but it's like the most unfortunate one to go in there.
Yeah. So I you've swayed me. They have so many good ones. My phone is like on the edge of a chair and it keeps falling, so I keep having to pick it up. I'm sorry. Fighting is crazy. But yeah. I think Surfetch is a really bad Pokemon. I've never thought it's good.
I don't remember Poison.
Poison is Toxtricity.
I feel like we're getting into the category where we have potentially good mons.
Yeah, I think we're
we
kind of at the point
Electric
where
with
everything is pretty
Rotom.
good. I think I really think Poison is gonna pop off in a Monotype tournament. My biggest problem with it,
what they would have.
my biggest problem with it, theoretically speaking, is that Fairy is gonna be one of the worser types or less like threatening types to you.
Another issue is ground types is going to be one of the best mono attacking types.
Yeah, and Steel is also gonna be one of the best. Which, granted, you have like answers. Like you can every monotype will have an answer.
But like, and also another thing, there is some mods on this that are really not easy to deal with. Like Iron Moth is not an easy mod to deal with.
Yeah. Like, I think we're in the top 10 right now, right? Other than Dragon Kite, because it's banned.
Because obvious.
Yeah. So I think Poison, like, I really think Poison is, like, the sleeper. Toxtricity isn't even bad. Like, you can just give it a Specs.
Your Specs or Scarf, depending on matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And you already know you're going to be
like
weak to ground, so like you can prep around that pretty good. I feel like.
Hell, you can even potentially go Air Balloon Toxtricity and go for a game-ending shift gear setup.
Yeah. Like, I think all these types are
That is
pretty
risky,
strong.
though. I am gonna say.
Say that again.
I am gonna say it's rather risky for the setup one I was saying, just because you need one turn.
Yeah, and that can be really hard for toxicity, I think. But I really think poison
Just
type
it's
is
not
like the
working.
type that can give you that one turn a lot of the times because of how stally they are.
I didn't mention you have Glamora for being the best hazard setter on the team.
Yeah. Okay, we're not in top 10. This was 11.
Okay, so it's just an honorable mention. Lapras.
I think that's my problem with ice type is Lapras is actually a really good Pokemon. I personally feel like. But it also is on ice type. It's gonna have to be like a slower defensive based ice team. Like you can get Weavile to Titan. And
You
then
get Weavile, Titan, Alolan Ninetales,
Yeah, that one.
Cloyster.
You have options, like
You
for
saying,
sure.
No, you saying that it would probably be more a defensive one. You're honestly kind of crazy for saying that, just because.
Yeah, I
We
just
have
I
Alolan
think Lapras,
Ninetales.
and I know Lapras is a defensive Pokemon, so I'm silly. I agree.
Like you can have it be like one of the two supports, and then have the other ones do the heavy lifting.
Let's just like place these really quick as to what we think, and then try to talk about them.
Wait, no, you said it was not Dex. All this time I was going through just Gen 9. Because some of the mons are not even here.
Yeah. I mean, basically everything
Never
you've
mind.
said is still
Gain
there.
access to a lot more. But this time you gain access to stuff like Kyurem.
That Ubers are banned.
Oh, no. Oh, wait.
Oh,
No, 'cause I was looking at
Kyurem?
this-
Oh,
never
right.
mind.
Sorry, I'm confusing. You said Kyurem, I thought it was Sharon. Yeah, Kyurem is nuts.
You have access to Kyurem. Hell, even some funny Ice Cube stuff.
I think Ice is really good, personally.
It's also the hardest to switch in, because you only have, like, a couple switch-ins. Because, like, granted, one of its best matchups, Dragon, isn't here anymore, but it's still gonna be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Offensively.
Speaking of Dragon being gone, I think that actually, like, makes Fairy even less valuable, because that's one of their best matchups. So what else?
Electric is a weird one to do.
That's kind of what I'm thinking was Electric, because Rotom itself is not, like, super great. They still haven't decided if you get all the forms or not. But I just want to rate it as if you're just getting Rotom Spook. I don't think
it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah, I think it's mediocre. Not mediocre, but like Rotom itself isn't that great. Like, it wants to be a support Pokemon, but it's really frail. It's not super fast when, like, a lot of electric types are really fast, but every other type is going to have really fast Pokemon that can also just outspeed you. So
if we did gain access to the other forms, then this is a different conversation.
Yes, absolutely. But just Rotom Spook, I think it's just good mon, good type. So Dark type, Steel type is really good.
No, I'm not done with this. I'm not done with the electric type.
Okay, keep going.
I am gonna say you don't have like a ton of offensive electrics that are like insanely prominent, but the ones you gain are not okay. I have like Zapdos, Coco, Mega Ampharos if you want just pure wall breaking. I'll even have Sticky Webs because Galvantula.
Oh,
Trapping
that's something
Magnezone
Fairy
for
type gets.
Steel.
Fairy gets all the Cocos or all the Topos. Yeah, Thunder,
Iron
Therian.
Thorns, Palmont for Revival Blessing, Raikou. Wait, actually, Sandy Shocks too? Wait, actually, this is way better than I thought. Zera, wow. Never mind, wait, actually, Electric could be cooking if the Rotom could be any form. Electric is probably cooking.
Yeah, I think Electric is top 5 if you get all Rotoms.
Honestly, I feel like make it in between tiers, saying it hypothetically.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I hate it when tier list maker does this. Okay, hypothetical. It's just gonna be hypothetical. It's gonna be purple. So
all right, and now we're here.
Yeah, this is where it gets really tough because the simple grass, fire, water I think is all pretty good. Psychic, I think Meloetta is not that great, but it's something that you can't always predict, and it's also surprisingly pretty fast.
Let me actually go check it real quick. It's base 90.
Yeah.
So it's like you can probably run like a scarf set and just try and make use of it.
Yeah, and then like it's got a really good special attack and a really good special defense. Like it can take a hit.
It can pivot into a special hit and potentially throw something out.
Yeah, and you have a lot of access. Like psychic terrain goes
okay.
off.
To make a comparison, it's similar to like a Monkey Dory if it had a little bit more bulk, but less special attack.
Yeah. What other psychic types do you have, really?
Alright, let's do this. This is...
Hatterene, Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is so good for this format.
Mega Medicham, Mega Gardevoir, Galarian Slowking, Cresselia, Iron Leaves, Latios, maybe even Hoop Unbound, Victini, Mew, Armarouge.
You've got tools for sure. Bronzong to slow
probably
stuff
Normal
down.
Glade would actually be better than Mega. Normal Glade would be better than Mega Glade.
Psychic is pretty
Alakazam too. It's very good offensively. The issue is one of its worst matchups is going to be Dark and Ghost, and those are going to be not okay in this.
Yeah, you also don't hit Steel type super effectively. They resist your stab, right?
Unless you bring Armarouge or you have fighting coverage. Mega Medicham, Gallade, and Armarouge would deal with Steel types.
That's true. I don't know. I'm mixed on Psychic. Steel type is always gonna have Jirachi though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Which Jirachi? Okay, you know what? Let's get Steel out of the way now.
Yeah, Steel.
Because we already mentioned.
No, that's Dark. Steel type is the best, right? Like Jirachi is probably the most insane out of all of these.
We say that, but at the same time, considering what Dark is gonna have,
I think Dark is like right next to it. I think they're the top two. Like Obstagoon.
Okay.
Goes off, right?
You know what? Obstagoon can go off. It's more so used for against Pokemons. But
you get Greninja, you get Samurai Hisui, you get all the Vessels of Destruction or whatever they're called. You get Weavile,
Samurai, Hydreigon, Meowscarada,
Bisharp. Wait, where's Big Bisharp? Where's King Gambit? See, is he an Uber now?
Yeah, he's Ubers.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
At
so
least
cool.
here.
Good for him.
Mostly
Good for
just
him.
because imagine maxed out ability with knockoff.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I don't know. I think Dark type is insane. I think it has so much maneuverability. I think stab knockoffs are so strong in any format. Two different protein Pokemon.
And because I got cut it off when talking about steel types, you have the best defensive team out of all of them.
Oh,
with
100%.
Steel.
It's not close. Like to
Like,
break
you
through
have-
steel is so hard.
You have literally the holy trinity of defensive steel types in Corviknight, Ferrothorn, and Heatran.
Yeah, and that alone is insane. And
Mega Scizor,
and your
Mega
cripple is
Mawile,
being-
Goldango.
you're crippled by running Jirachi. Like, okay, that's not even you're not even being crippled at that point.
Even then, Jirachi is probably one of the best support mons on the team.
Yup, being able to fully heal anything with Healing Wish, T-Wave, Headbutts.
You also have stuff
you
have
could
Rapid
literally
Spin
win
with
just off of that
Control.
alone. It's just T-Waves and Headbutts.
And not even mention, you also have one of the biggest snowball mons with Kartana. You also have Empoleon. What? Jesus. Wait.
Yeah, Steel is
Wait,
insane.
Which is Shedtail? Like, is Shedtail banned?
I would assume so because it's National Dex OU. I'd assume. I'm pretty sure it's just normal rules of play, and if Shedtail is banned normally, I'm pretty sure it'll be banned here too. But even without it, I think it's so good that it's impossible to like not give it first place. I don't want to spend too much time.
No.
So let's just kind of
give
everything a minute.
Shedtail, instant game over. If you had Shedtail,
you get Shedtail, you win. That's it. GG's. Shake my hand. I think ground type is probably.
I feel like it goes in great.
I think so too. I think
like,
Flygon is really
feel
good.
Like, I'm gonna be honest here. I feel like ground and dark are almost even.
Yeah, like I think they're both really, really strong.
All right, I'll take over here because I was an avid mono ground user for a long time.
Okay.
You have Gliscor, Landorus with its full moveset back. Great Tusk, Tanglu, Blood Moon or Saluna, which is the big one.
I think it's already banned.
Oh wait, no, I forgot. That's for Gen. I forgot it's that. So not Ash.
Okay, no. All right, Blood Moon is here.
Tanglu, Excadrill, Hippowdon,
Clodsire, Excadrill.
Nidoking,
Great
Sandy
Tusk.
Shocks.
You have a lot with ground type. I think you look at ground and just go, yeah, okay. I don't think that like you really need to explain much of ground type. It just kind of pops off on its own.
Quagsire, Torterra now because Shell Smash.
Yeah, like honestly, Flygon is gonna be your worst Pokemon because there's just so many good choices. Which is insane because Flygon is good.
It helps out.
Yeah, like it's gonna be able to be a fast
ground coverage. So honestly, I feel like ground and dark are about even.
Yeah, I think ground and dark are both great. I don't know if I really want to put like these are all really good, right? I don't know if any of them are on the same level. Ghost maybe, because you're the only type that gets access to Dragapult, unless Dragapult's an Uber, right?
Let me look.
Dragapult is an Uber. It's illegal.
Yes.
Okay, so no one gets access to Dragapult. But you get Goldengo, but Steel type gets Goldengo. You get Sinistea. All your best ghosts are UUs, which isn't a problem really in Monotype. What tier you're in? I'm assuming Basket Legion has Last Respects band. Ghost type's such a glass cannon type, so I don't know. I don't think I'm willing to put Ghost in the same tier as these ones. And you have to have Miss Magius, which Miss Magius isn't bad, but she's not.
I feel like it goes in. I feel like compared to the other ones, it goes in good matchups, but it is a little more volatile.
Yeah, I don't even think it's better than Poison, honestly. I think I'd rather have Poison. And then...
Oh yeah, we didn't even rank Psychic yet.
Say that again?
We didn't even put Psychic on the tier yet.
Yeah, we talked about it, but we just kind of glanced over it.
And then forgot.
I think Psychic is good. I think it can go right here. I think it's better than Ice type.
Probably one of the best in that tier.
Yeah. And then Grass, the Rillaboom.
You have Rillaboom.
Rillaboom is really
grassy
good.
seed stuff.
You win the ground matchup really, really hard. And you win the water matchup, which is also going to be like two that are like you want to be winning. Steel.
You have Ogre. You have all the Ogre pawns.
That's true. I forgot they came out.
They also have Superior, Ferrothorn, obviously Rillaboom, Amoonguss, Breloom. Mega Venusaurs remain Mega.
I think Grass is better than Psychic, personally.
Like, it may not have as many like big hitters, but the ones it does have are very good.
Yeah.
Now I mentioned they have two amazing pivots in being Ferrothorn and Amoonguss.
Yeah, being able to just absorb.
And then you have Rillaboom to come in for the ultimate revenge kill.
Yeah, and then you have a few U-turners as well.
So I feel like Grass overall is good.
Yeah, Sinistcha just came out too. You have Kartana.
Sinistcha is.
You have Meowscarada.
So also, I feel like it's slightly worse than Psychic, mostly just because Psychic is very much a gatekeeper. Because like it pretty much destroys the other types, but loses to the big ones.
I guess that's true. I don't know. I think Grass is pretty solidly like mid tier because it does good kind of against everything. It doesn't do bad against anybody except for Poison and Ice, which are right next to it, really, right? And Fire, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess let's put Fire somewhere.
I am going to be completely honest. I think Fire might go in the same tier as the big three.
Yeah, I think Fire and Water are both really strong, personally.
Because like, you have Skeledirge, which granted that's still a great mod.
There's gonna be some people that just don't know how to fight Skeledirge at all. He just gets big, and then he wins because he's big.
Like he's hard to shut off. Volcarona. Wait, you said it's Nat Dex, right?
Yeah, it's National Dex.
Then you have the Megazards, Moltres. Like, you have a lot of options. Hell, you can even try Tailwind with, like, a big boy hitter like Darmanitan, if you really want.
And you'll have priority with Talonflame if you choose to run it that way. You have Tauros, Blaze, which is really good. Salazzle is really good for certain matchups.
Volcanion is a great one for the water matchup.
Yeah. You're definitely going to have choices. I think Fire is really strong.
So I honestly think, like, the one drawback it has is it does lose to ground, but the thing is, you have enough fire types that can mitigate that weakness that it's not as bad.
Yeah.
Because you have Megazard Y and Moltres, and like if Volcarona doesn't have to deal with Heat Ran, if case if it's the Steel matchup, you have the other fire types to potentially handle it.
You're also one of the only types that beats Steel, which is huge. Like, that's a big deal, honestly.
And like a unanimous, almost unanimous beat instead of like dependent on type matchups.
Yeah, like the best that Steel can do is run ground types, really, right?
You also have the best matchup into Fairthorn Corviknight.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, alright, you've convinced me. Fire definitely like number 4. And then water type. Their force is Primarina, which isn't that great, I think. And I'm saying this as a huge Primarina fan. Greninja.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like Primarina honestly beats the Steel team, considering they might potentially be too passive.
Yeah, maybe.
You have Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is ginormous.
Yeah, that's actually huge. I was about to say Keldeo, and then I was like, wait, there's a better water fighting type. Yeah, Rapid Strike is insane.
Manaphy, Dondozo with Zoomerol.
I guess Toxapex isn't that as good as it used to be, but, you know.
You have Mega Swampert in its heyday.
Samurott, setting up hazards. Alola Mola.
You can also just run... You can just run Rain and you're good.
You also have Tapu Fini in case you want to run Misty.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, water might be barely better than fire, but it's like they're tied.
I think they're both the same, personally. I think they're both better than Psychic for sure.
You know what? Because why not? Let's see hypothetically what Dragon would have gotten with the ban of Miraidon.
I don't know. Running my thought process is 6 pseudo legendaries. That's usually pretty good, right?
Not usually.
Baxcalibur, Dragonite, Garchomp, Kyurem,
Komodo, Mega. Actually, no, we banned Megazord because the type change.
Dragalge.
So you do have a lot. You have a lot of options. The thing is, most of the big boys are in Ubers.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think Dragon pops off.
Like, it would still be amazing, but it's the fact that you have to use Miraidon means that it's too strong.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
If it wasn't for that, also Fairy would have gotten a very big bump, and Ice would have also gotten a big bump.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think Ice would move up past Grass. Probably.
Steel would probably also be like even better.
Yeah. Alright, so I think this is the list, right? So any last second changes we want to make?
Not really.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think just to recap, Dragon type is banned. Steel, like, inarguably the best. Dark and Ground are going to pop off super hard. Fire and Water are both just incredibly reliable. And they have good matchups all across the board. And some of them they dominate, and they barely lose. Fire, I would say, Fire has some bad ones. But for every bad matchup, Fire, like extremely bad, they have an extremely good matchup. Whereas Water just does good really good all across the board. And it's weak to
if not in some cases has higher peaks than Fire in some cases.
Yeah. And also beats
for example,
Fire,
not even to mention it annihilates Ground.
Yeah. It has 2 really good winning matchups out of the top 5. Electric.
So it might actually end up being potentially better than Fire, but it's still hard.
Yeah, I think it's like tier 1, tier 2 is dark and ground, then tier 3 is like fire and electric. Here, let's we can add more, I suppose. I'm not gonna name them.
I don't think you really need. You know what? Just name them Gap. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, like I think it kind of goes like this. Right?
Do misplaced hypothetical. Oh, never mind.
Let's put this even across, because I think grass is really good versus everybody. Let's not expose how bad at the speller I am. Gatekeeper.
Okay, if we do have the Rotom appliances, I feel like it goes pretty close near water. If it does,
Yeah, I'm even willing to put it up here, because I think it's better than Psychic. Personally.
mostly just because you gain access to boost your energy mons.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Like, some mons can actually go berserk. Like, Sandy Shocks actually gains access to the to its booster speed set without having to common skate.
That's pretty powerful.
So I honestly think we got the list.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is pretty solid.
Probably better than Dragon is a little insane though, considering. Actually, no, never mind, because the Miraidon.
Yeah, Miraidon's banned. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
So yeah, that seems like we got the list.
I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty good in its order as well. I don't think there's anything I'd want to change. Like, I do think Poison is better than Ghost. I think Poison is probably better than Ice, but I don't really care. Fighting will pop off, but has Surf Etched. Altaria is pretty weak, but Flying is really good. Jigglypuff is not a very great Pokemon, unfortunately. Fairy type also doesn't.
I literally had to defend it.
What?
No, I literally had to defend Jigglypuff for my life.
Yeah. Obviously, Fairy type is really good, but it's not going to be winning a lot of matchups in this format, I believe.
Unfortunately, because it did lose its best one.
Yeah. And then
Normal has Chatot.
Chatot is it's a sack. It's so bad. Watch the normal type trainer pop off in this league. And then Rock is really good. It's gonna be super hyper offensive, I think. I just think Aurorus is boo boo. And then Bug type is Bug type, unfortunately. And then it also unfortunately has Cricketune, which is just so unfortunate. That's rough, buddy. Alright. Thank you, Shiny. Do you wanna shout out your Twitter or anything?
Not really this time.
Alright. Well, thank you for joining me on this adventure.
Maybe just leave it in the description, I guess.
Yeah, alright. Sounds good. You definitely gave me a lot of information that I needed to know. And that other people need to know. Oh, no. Was Jelly covering the list the whole time? Let's move her over here. Here's the full list. Boop, 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 boop. Alright. Thank you all for tuning in for this 40-minute video. That was supposed to be like 20. Whoops. Bye.